All right, let's talk about Brock Purdy's playoff resume that he's building, because he is doing some fantastic things. I put together a list. Do you want me to read the list of like
Please.
the accomplishments he has, and then you
Yeah.
can kind of give your thoughts? Okay. So three players have won the Super Bowl at 24 years and younger. So pretty good history here if he wins a Super Bowl. Big Ben, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. He would be the fourth player to do so at 24 years and younger. There are only two players that I could find. Now, maybe somebody else can find something, but only two quarterbacks that I found that have made a conference championship in their first 2 years in the league. Mark Sanchez, Ben Roethlisberger. There have been 9 quarterbacks that have played in the Super Bowl at 24 years or younger. 5 of them have been Hall of Fame caliber or are in the Hall of Fame. So pretty good company, I would say, to be in the situation that he is in. Those are the raw statistics or other players that have been there. What would you say about the playoff resume so far of Brock Purdy and what he's building at a young age?
I mean, you said the word. It's incredible. I mean, he already has more playoff wins than Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, right? If he wins the Super Bowl, he'd be tied with your boy Josh Allen for how many playoff victories. It's and the way he's doing it this playoff run, Jesse, I think is what's great about it, is because it's like the universe or God, whatever we want to put it, is just like, Purdy, I'm going to give you the opportunity to silence all of these haters. They say you can't lead a game-winning drive. I'm going to give you the opportunity. Go out there and ball out and lead a game-winning drive to put your team into the next round. Then he heard all the media, universe heard all the media, and was like, nah, it has to be more than 2 scores for it to count. It's not just, down by 4 points to be able to consist of a game winning. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put you down 24-7 at halftime, and you need to go ball out in the second half, bring your team back to get yourself in the Super Bowl. And it's just like all of the things that people are saying he can't do is he's doing, and then he's adding wrinkles that we knew he had, but he's able to showcase it on such a big stage, like the mobility, the ability to scramble. He's throwing incredible balls with nothing but pressure in his face, like taking big hits, throwing dots to Ayuk, to Debo.
The crosser on Debo, man, that was my favorite throw the whole game, man. Oh my gosh, he took a shot to the grill and just right on the money.
No hesitation, no flinching. He's just doing it. Like, even the throw, which some people are like, it's one of those oh no yes plays, what he did to what he did across his body and floated it up to Juwan Jennings. Yeah, like, it's just, these are things that unfortunately people who might be rooting for him to fail or think they're not able to appreciate it because they're just not expecting it from him. And they're just like, nah, that can't be real. That's Juwan Jennings going up for the ball, or, whatever they want to put it on. But to me, ultimately, like, yeah, there's a lot of discussion about, franchise quarterback and not. And I think, where people maybe misconstrue you is when you look at franchise quarterback, you're looking at somebody that's going to get paid $50-60 million, where you would rather have this quarterback than a Nick Bosa. You would rather have this quarterback than, a Debo or an Ayuk, because those franchise quarterbacks, you're looking at a guy like Patrick Mahomes. Because Patrick Mahomes is being paid what he's being paid, they have to lose a guy like Tyreek Hill. They have to, lose, certain guys that they can't pay. And that's where you're kind of like, I don't know if Brock Purdy is going to be able to take this team to the Super Bowl if he doesn't have the talent around him. And he wouldn't have that talent if he's getting paid $50-60 million a year. So I think that is a fair stance. But he is the perfect quarterback for this system, with this roster,
Oh
like
yeah.
we haven't
Oh yeah.
seen somebody be able to take advantage of the opportunities that a Kyle Shanahan system gives a quarterback at this high level. And it shows with the way that this team looks. And I think it's not surprising that Kyle Shanahan has had this horrendous record when it's playing from behind. And then all of a sudden, this quarterback is able to break that in the two playoff games this season. He's turning into a clutch quarterback, proving that he's a clutch quarterback, proving that he's a difference maker and not just a game manager. And the amount of love that he's receiving from the team, and it's just epic, man. It's gonna be a movie. It has to be a movie the way that it's turning out, and it couldn't happen to a greater guy, man. His interviews, the way that he gives praise to God, and it's just a humble
Yeah.
kid. It's
Yeah.
just hard not to root for him, and it's crazy how people are rooting against him. It's wild to me.
Yeah, bro. I gotta say, I'm like getting goosebumps thinking about it. But you're right, man. It couldn't happen to a better person. At least what he portrays. We don't know him personally. We don't know any of these guys personally. But what he portrays, it's like, how can you not get behind that? How can you not root for that? It's the best underdog story of all time. And I also want to say this. This is why you don't box score scout. This is why I get on people for box score scouting, because if I read you the numbers of Brock Purdy in these playoffs, they would sound so underwhelming to you. Okay. But when you actually put eyes on what he's doing, fantastic. And he's playing fantastic at a very, very high level when it matters most, picking and choosing his moments to play at an elite level. And that is extremely important. Statistically, doesn't look great. But what he's doing is absolutely phenomenal when you watch the game. And you're right. I mean, I just laid out the resume. You see exactly what it is. If he wins a Super Bowl, he'll be one of 4 quarterbacks to do that at the age of 24 and under. The other 3 are all 2 of them are arguably the best 2 of all time. And one of them is probably top 10, a guy that I've said, and Ben Roethlisberger, I would take over Drew Brees. And I think most people have Drew Brees as a lock in their top 10. I think Ben Roethlisberger is also a top 10 quarterback. So you would put yourself in rarefied air. We'll see how the career goes, but it can't really start much better than that. And for that, you have to love what Brock Purdy's doing right now. And hopefully he can join those other 3 in winning a Super Bowl at a young age. Otherwise, he just kind of goes in the pantheon of guys that have been there. Some are good, some aren't. But if he wins, he puts himself in a whole different situation. And I think they can win this game, man. I think with him at the quarterback, they can win this game. So definitely happy for Brock Purdy.